Welcome to this week's Client Attraction Clinics by Homeboss. It's a free weekly 30-minute clinic for serious real estate agents who want to build a predictable pipeline in about 15 focused hours a week without cold calling or door knocking. And today what we're going to cover is working less and earning more by controlling your calendar. Because, listen folks, it's easy to work hard, but it's a lot harder to work smart, right? All the disruptions, all of those things. And what I want to accomplish today is to turn philosophy, right? We always hear you need to time block a calendar, right? We want to turn that into a practical operating rhythm. Because when you can get your business to run rhythmically, meaning the same things happen every week, you do the same thing at the same hours every week, you get into a rhythm, right? It just becomes your natural habit. And what I've seen over all the years of doing this, most agents aren't short on time. They're short on protected time for the activities that actually make them money. What I found over the years is we tend to avoid the things that we don't want to do. And unfortunately, those are the money-making things. I don't want you to feel bad about it. That's just the nature of the beast. We all do it, right? We all put things off. By having schedules and routine and rhythm in your business, it allows you to take and overcome that fear. It just becomes something that you have to do, right? Just like you have to eat. So our business model, the way that I built it, is about doing less randomly and protecting the highest value activities that create pipeline and closings, right? So here's some notes to remember. The calendar reveals the real business model. If the calendar is reactive, the income is usually too. Here's what I mean by that. When you wake up in the morning, do you wake up and you know exactly what you'll accomplish that day, what you have to do at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or whatever time you start? What are the first 3 things or the first 5 things that you have to do? Is it blocked out? Is it become a habit? Is it rhythm in your business? Or do you just wake up and you make it up as you go? What do I have to do today? Let me think about that. If you do it that way, folks, that tells me everything about your business that I need to know. Because here's the thing I'd ask you to consider. Do you actually think the highest earners in the real estate space operate by making it up every day? Like I just make it up as I go. I can promise you they don't. I've been doing this a long time. I know most of the top 100 or 200 people in the country, and I promise you that's not how it works. The problem is the average agent doesn't run their business that way. They're reactive. I wake up and figure out what to do. My goal, the purpose of these clinics, are to help you understand what's important and to put it in place. Now, what's the whole concept around the 15 hours? Imagine if you spent 15 hours every week of highly focused effort on the highest value work. So what are those highest value? It's lead generation, it's follow-up, it's social media content, it's setting up client conversations. Having those client conversations entirely different. That's not part of those 15 hours a week. The 15 hours is about setting up the client conversations, your appointments. And if you spend 15 hours a week doing that, you'll have a completely different business. It's about creating content and visibility. It's about nurturing your databases. It's about creating partnership development. So let me give you an example of what that schedule looks like for my team, right? And we've used AI to shorten the time and eliminate the tasks. So let me give you the acronym that I use. The way that I run, or the way that I think about my business on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, really all the time, is an acronym ABI. Always be innovating. I've had some always be improving. That works too. But always be innovating. So I'm going to give you, I literally took this from a checklist that we created about 3 months ago. And I've innovated from there. So like the first thing that we do is we identify the leads. Now, for my team, that's not an issue, right? We have a software system, right? I own a software company that identifies people to a 60 to 80% certainty that are likely to buy, sell, or finance a house right now. So the way that we had our schedule set up before is we put 4 hours aside. My recommendation always was to do it Monday morning and organize those leads to match your ideal client profile. What does that mean? Let's say we had a lead that came through and it was a $30,000 mobile home. You might not want to work with that client. You're going to want to discard that, right? Because we're going to spend money on direct mail and some of the things that we do to generate business. So we go through that list, and that takes a little bit of time. It might take 30 minutes, let's say. But then we uploaded the sorted leads into our direct mail follow-up system. Now, all of that maybe takes an hour. In the last 2 months, I've updated that where it happens automatically now. The leads literally go to the direct mail provider. The direct mail provider sends out, let's just take, for example, listing leads. The lead goes into the direct mail provider. A postcard goes out immediately with a picture of their house on it. And it says basically along the lines of, do you know the value? No, what? That's what it says. What would somebody pay for your house at 123 Main Street today? And they can scan the QR code and get a property valuation. About 20% of the people scan that, right? So figure between 15 and 20%. So if you get 100 leads a week, which again, depending on size of market and things like that, and we do by zip code. So for example, last week we personally got 84 seller leads. I'm going to just use 100 because the math is easy. Folks, that means 20 people scan that QR code every week. What used to take us a couple of hours of work to do now happens automatically. So it's not a 15-hour schedule anymore. It might be a 12 or 13-hour schedule, right? And then we do spend some time determining like priority leads. Like we have pre-list packages that you could either mail or deliver. Those packages, we go through the leads, and when we say priority leads, like if it's $1 million property, don't you think it would be cool? They get a direct mail piece from you. They get a package from you that's like a pre-list package. And then we spend time looking at ads to run direct mail campaigns. We do all that, right? Then we take and prepare a deal of the week email and scheduled. Here's the good news. That's all done by AI. You just have to click a button, like our team. The reason that I do these classes or these clinics in the order that I have is you guys already should have figured out what your unique selling proposition is. Turn that into marketing pieces. Turn that into a schedule. Today's about saying, hey, in the last 5 weeks or the last 4 weeks, we taught you how to take and answer leads, answer objections, how to use that marketing to get them to ask what you want so that you have a prepared answer. So like in our postcard, hey, do you want to know the value of your home? Our follow-up call is very simple. Hey, this is Bob with eXp Realty. Just reaching out. I know you'd requested a property evaluation. A, I wanted to make sure you got it. B, I wanted to just see what you thought of it. That's the call. If they go, yeah, I got it, too low, this, that, the other thing, whatever. Hey, I can do a more detailed exam for you. It'll take me about 24 hours to get it done, but that's going to look at a lot of the local trends, who's moving, what companies are relocating people here. It'll compare the other listings and do all that in your area. Would you like me to do that and email it to you? That's all AI too. So if they go, yeah, that'd be cool. Or no, I'm not going to be selling for 3 months. Great. Why don't we look at it now? And then 3 months from now, you can always update it. Now they get this very professional package from you or email from you with a ton of detail. Folks, we got them at the raise your hand level. But that didn't happen by accident. It happens because we have a schedule. And then we have other things that we do in those 15 hours. Things like build our local and our referral networks. Everybody goes, I want a referral-based business, but we don't have a strategy or a system for it. So for me, my team, we do. We have a system. If you spent 30, 40, 50 minutes, an hour a week on building a nationwide referral network and a local network of business people, right? We all have them. Everybody, your clients always ask you, hey, do you have a good plumber? Do you have a good handyman? Do you have a good carpet cleaner? All that. We should be fostering those relationships and getting referrals from them, shouldn't we? That's part of your 15 hours. Now, the 15 hours is scheduling those meetings. It doesn't include the meetings, it means scheduling it. And then what about national referrals? Find out where people are coming from and moving into your market and start fostering relationships with agents in those markets. Folks, it all sounds good, right? Everybody's probably sitting there listening, just go, yeah, that'd be really cool, really cool. It starts with scheduling your time to do it. Now, I've already built a system to do it that literally takes about 30 minutes a week. And if the truth is, folks, if you don't have time, then go hire an ISA for $5, $6, $7 an hour to do it for you, because it literally is that easy. And then included in that time, I did schedule 4 hours of the 15 are for meeting local referral partners and lenders. Why lenders? Lenders have clients. Lenders have databases. And so at the end of the day, you have to determine, which is what we talked about last week, why people hire you, turn that into marketing, and then once you have that done and you said, okay, here's how I'm going to generate business, you have to turn that into a schedule, period. So at the end of the day, I can tell you what we do, but you're going to have to figure it out on your own. And if you don't, well, guys, I got news for you. You're just going to be running your business randomly. I can promise you, if you schedule it, make it a habit, and turn it into a rhythm where every Monday, this is what I do, and every Tuesday, this is what I do, every Wednesday, this is what I do, I can promise you your business will at least double. At least double. And so I can't encourage you enough to do this. Now, the other thing is AI plays a big role in this. So to give you an example, I created an AI prompt that if you say, here are the jobs that I have to do and here's how many hours a week I'm going to do it, and I'd like to get them done on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever time you want to do it, it doesn't matter. Feed it into the AI, it'll create your schedule for you. Then it creates an accountability coach. So I have mine set to come at 6 in the morning and 6 at night. And it comes in at 6 o'clock in the morning and says, hey, Bob, today here's what you have to do. Here's 3 or 4 things that you have to do. Is anything else on your to-do list? You go, yes, I got to do this and this. Cool, you're done. It's 6 p.m. It comes back and says, hey, Bob, just checking in. How did you do? Did you get these things done? If not, let me know. I'll work them into your schedule tomorrow. So tomorrow at 6 a.m. it says, hey, Bob, here's the things you didn't get done yesterday, and here's the things that you have to get done today. So I have a built-in AI coaching and accountability system for my team that they can use instead of hiring a coach. But it's predicated on being systematic, on building your habits, on being building rhythm in your business. Now, the low value work that you shouldn't be doing, right? You should be delegating or systemizing it, constantly checking your inbox. Guess what, guys? You can have AI do that for you. Doing manual, repetitive follow-up. Oh, I know I need to email my database. I got to go in there and do this and this. No, automate it. Random social posting. No. Schedule the time to make the content. Upload it into a system that will do the posting for you on a scheduled basis. Or you keep switching tasks all day. Oh, I got a phone call. Or, oh, I got an email. And I got to do this and going back and forth. Folks, I can tell you this personally. It's one of the hardest things that I have to manage is that task switching. I get a lot of calls. I got a lot of Zoom calls as I try and do creative things, right? Do the ABI, the always be innovating. What I've done is I block my calendar out so Fridays I'm not available. The weekends, that's when I get that kind of stuff done, where I could actually think in peace. Because when I time block, it creates consistency. If I have all my emails set up to say, hey, I'm sorry, Tuesday mornings I'm busy between 9 and 12, don't expect an answer till 2 p.m. or whatever it is, I can do all that with automation now. Because consistency creates compounding. If you block out 15 hours a week and you fill it with the tasks that I outlined, can we agree you'd have a heck of a lot better business? So my question for you is, do you have a time block schedule? If you don't, you're going to have to do that, folks. Now, if you're on my team, because I know quite a few of you are on my team, you already have the AI and everything you need to do that. Plug into it and do it. See, the goal, everybody thinks the goal is like perfect productivity. That's not really the goal. The goal is a predictable pipeline. If you have a pipeline that's always full, that you're nurturing, that people are hearing from you, you're going to have perfect productivity. Now, if you need a kind of a framework to do this, you could break the 4 hours into these buckets. You might want to write them down. 4 hours for follow-up, lead generation follow-up. 3 hours to have client conversations. Now, this is a week, right? 2 hours of creating content. And it's not creating content about, oh, look at me at the beach, and oh, look at me with a birthday cake, and oh, look at me, whatever. It's about building authority, talking about the market, talking about what's going on in the world. Some of it certainly is going to be about real estate. But if you create your content and you use a system to schedule it, to post, I can create a year's worth of content in about 3 or 4 hours. Personally, I've just hired a social media manager to do it all for me. I'm not even going to touch it anymore. If you spend 2 hours a week on partner or referral network outreach, building a strategic, predictable set of referrals every year, would you spend 2 hours a week doing it? You have to spend 2 hours a week planning and reviewing what you did, in 2 hours of nurturing that database. If you did that, folks, can we agree you'd have an entirely different business than what you have right now? And yet we preach about time blocking all the time, and so few agents ever do it. When I have meetings with agents, I refer to them as SVN meetings, right? I want to hear an agent's story. Hey, why are you in real estate? Why do you like it? Do you love it? Or are you just doing it because it pays the bills? Tell me about you. The next is vision. Hey, what do you want to see your business like 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years from now? Where do you want that vision to be? Because if you don't have a vision, you're just going to wake up every morning and do whatever strikes your fancy, right? And then the last thing is I want to look at their numbers. Do you know your numbers? You are the CEO of your real estate business. You need to know your numbers. Well, to me, part of your numbers is how many hours a week do you work and what do you work on in those hours? So that's your framework to build that. Now, if you want structure behind the method, then go ahead and grab the free guide that I created. It's the 15-hour client attraction method. Just go to www.15hourmethod.com and grab a copy, because I guarantee it'll impact your business in a massive way, but only if you implement it, right? You can read all the stuff that you want. You can attend all the webinars you want, folks. The number one thing is if you don't implement it, none of it matters, right? But I can promise you this, it'll help you build a more predictable pipeline. Spending about 15 hours a week on lead generation and follow-up, it'll give you better positioning, better follow-up, and a better use of your time. Here's the question I have for you. If you spend 15 hours a week doing those things, what else do you do with the rest of your time? It's about appointments and meetings. See, you don't have to work 50 or 60 hours in real estate to make a lot of money. You work 30 hours a week. It just has to be focused time. Now, next week what I'm going to be covering is how you can take and do the pre-work. What's the pre-work that a serious agent has to finish before you try to scale leads? I'm doing these clinics in an order that I want you to go through. So last week we talked about creating a unique selling proposition so you can figure out your marketing and you can figure out your hooks and you can figure out what you're going to say. This week I want to say, all right, now you know what you're going to do with your marketing. Now you got to create a time around it. Next week we're going to talk about what do you need to do in advance to implement it. So that's what we'll cover next week. So thanks for joining me on this episode of the Client Attraction Clinics, and I'll see you in the next session.